Hello children, parents, teachers and all the well-wishers. Welcome back to know some facts of literacy and illiteracy in India and in the world. 35 million children are illiterate before the pandemic in India. The pandemic has pushed many of the 6 to 14 age group boys and girls back to home. They don't have an education. They have not enrolled in any of the schools. Many students, in that more than 59% were girls. It's pathetic. But I tell you, we still have hope. A very inspirational, heart-touching, motivational young headmaster. That is what the title given by BBC in 2009. And CNN IBN has given an award saying that he is the real hero. Today we are going to know a little about the youngest headmaster of the world, the real hero. At 9 he started teaching as a game, and when he is 14 years he started a real school, free books, free education, free food. He is Babar Ali. I want everyone to later browse at your own convenient time. These pandemic days, this real hero story will be a great inspiration and boost the hope of many underprivileged and poor students. Babar Ali, his daily routine, he wakes up early in the morning. He finishes off his domestic chores. He doesn't leave without doing anything at home. He helps father and mother cleaning up the yard and the home, washing his own clothes. He starts his day like that. Takes little food, pack up, and jumps into an auto rickshaw because he has to travel 10 kilometers to his school. He is in a small remote village called Murshidabad at West Bengal, and he travels 10 kilometers to the nearby government school, Raja Govinda School, Raj Govinda School, a government school, free education at West Bengal. So he gets into an auto, 10 kilometers ride, but only the auto goes half the way. And from there he gets down. He walks for another 2 to 3 kilometers. That's his daily routine. And then goes to school, neatly dressed. He looks very smart, very lean and slim, tall, looks sharp. He is the most adorable student in the classroom and in the school. He goes in time. He doesn't give any lame excuses because of his 10-kilometer travel or his poor background. No, never. He's in time to the school, and he's smartly, neatly dressed with his books. He takes note carefully. The notes when teachers, and his teachers are, even the school is a very big school. So many hundreds of students are there in Raj Govinda School. Many dedicated teachers and principal who works very hard for this educating these young minds. By afternoon, he returns back to his small remote village. Same thing again, he walks half the way, Then he gets into an auto rickshaw. And then he comes home. And after coming home, he is not like another student who stays back and play, have some fun with friends, and slowly by evening he reaches home. This boy is not like that from the beginning. So at the age of 9, he started, acting as a teacher. Usually lower class students, their best game is imitating the teacher. After going home, they make their father and mother sit and they take a scale and they say, okay, now repeat after me, and then they say nice poetry. This is a nice game of the childhood days, being a teacher. He also started like that, a game of being a teacher with 4 or 5, because his village, all the boys will go to work along with the parents to the fields, and all the girls go to nearby homes of that village to clean the vessels and to wash the floors. Otherwise, they won't get their 1 or 2 meals per day. It is very difficult. There's such a poor village. So, school education beyond their imagination. So that's why he thought, okay, let me just be a teacher. And he started training 3, 4, and slowly everyone are coming and sitting, acting as his students, and he is playing a game as a teacher, teaching them what all he learnt in the school. But one day he realized, these children are never going to get their education because of the poverty. These children are not going to write anymore or read anymore. I have to do something. So the burning passion, he felt it is his calling, it is his vocation. The burning of his passion started making it as an official school for them. Every day afternoon he goes back, he runs, and in his small house backyard there's a big place, mud area. He stands there, he made it as one, the bench as a sitting place and a podium there. He stands there and he rings a bell, a metal bell. He rings and all the boys and girls come running through his front yard gate into the backyard. So small children will sit at a small place in his home veranda. Few there, group wise, they all sit. They learn, they read, they write, they work hard. They have the eagerness and enthusiasm to learn, because they all pretty well know that they can never step into any school, because even if the government school, free education, to buy the uniform, to have the clothes, or to go to the school, they have to travel, they have to pay for the auto rickshaw. In a year, Babar Ali spends 1800 per year for his transportation, that too halfway, and for his uniform. In that village, no one can afford that amount, though the education is free. The school is 10 kilometers away from that small village. So, there is no chance for them. Babar Ali decided, by 14, when he is class 12, he had many students voluntarily working along with him to train these young minds. Like that, there is one girl I would like to mention, Chumki Hajra, 14-year-old. She wakes up early in the morning, and father cannot work, he's paralyzed. Mother, grandmother, she lives with grandmother. Her money only feeds grandmother and father. She goes early in the morning to clean few houses, to wash the vessels, and at the end of the month, she gets only 200 rupees. Can she even, in her wildest dreams, imagine that she can be educated? No chance. Because the 200 rupees, they can't even afford to have 1 meal per day, though she works hard from morning till afternoon. By 1:45, when Babar Ali comes back home, all these children, the boys from the fields, the girls from the houses, come and gather, and he trains. And by 2015 or 2014, 800 students he is training, and the local body government is giving some funds to give them the free food, free clothes, free books. And along with Babar Ali, there were some 12th class students who has dedicated their lives to voluntarily teach these young minds. One day this Chupki wants to be a nurse. Now she's a domestic cleaner, but she's being educated at Babar Ali school. BBC has declared him as youngest headmaster of the world, and CNN has given him an award of Real Hero Award. What a great dedication. What a motivation for all of us. His afternoon 2 hours, 3 hours. If it rains, no school for them. If there is no power, no school for them, because they can afford only in the evenings, that too under the small bulbs. If there is no electricity, orally he speaks something, but they can't learn and write. Monsoon days, no school for them. There are many like this who are working hard to make, not only in our country, in many of the developing countries, there are inspirational heroes like this working hard to make everyone educate, because education is the real power and education is the real development of any country. During this pandemic days also, I have seen one young girl in her small hut in the down south, every day teaching 30 students, 40 students, because she was educated in hostels in big cities. She went back to that small village. She realized that most of the village people are not being educated. She started educating them, preparing them, giving them an opportunity to go for board examinations. What an inspiration. My dear students, my dear parents, teachers, well-wishers, try to do your best in your own limit, what best we can do. It's not always a formal education in big buildings and big schools. Even at home, there is a possibility to encourage the underprivileged and poor, illiterate boys and girls. Around 35 million people we do have in India. Try to look around. You find many. Do your best. Be blessed. Take care. Have a nice day.